So good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy. If you don't know me or haven't been to our Saturday morning yoga class. So today we're going to do some strap work. So make sure you have something like that. So what that would look like, something like this, but it doesn't have to be this. You could use a belt or a tie or a towel, a jump rope. I'm looking at an extension cord. It might be a little extreme, but it could work. For some work with the legs and the arms, and a few other things. So just have that handy. If you have anything else that you usually use, block straps, have those nearby. And if not, we can make it work. So begin by elevating the hips if you can, so that the pelvis tips forward. And that will lengthen the spine, keep it nice and straight. Actually makes it easier for the spine to be straight. Just sitting on the edge of a blanket in any comfortable position for the knees. Rest the hands in the lap and close the eyes. Chin is level to the ground, crown of the head pointing to the sky. And just begin by tuning into the breath. So as we arrive on our mats after whatever it was we were doing before, and whatever it is we'll be doing after, those things are not here right now, so just let those go. And tune into the breath, which gives us a communication between consciousness, what we're doing in the moment, and the deeper part of ourselves. You notice where the breath is, if it's in the upper chest only, if it's deep or not, and how quickly you're breathing. Whether or not the inhale or the exhale are the same way, and often they're not. We'll begin with some square breathing, if you don't know it. So we're going to pick a convenient count, say 4. It could be anything that works for you. It might take a few cycles to get the hang of it. But we're going to inhale. Let's use a count of 4 as an example. Inhale for 4. Hold the breath in. It's called an internal kumbhaka for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold the breath out. External kumbhaka for 4. And then begin again. So I'll lead a few cycles, and then just find a count that works for you. And if the length of the size of my square doesn't work for you, just adjust it to be smaller or bigger as you see fit. Just take a cleansing breath. And if you can deepen the breath as you do this, so much the better. One more breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and release the technique. Take a moment. Shift your awareness from focusing on the size of the square and the counts and the breath. And focus instead on how you're feeling, if there's been a shift, and emotions that might come up are all okay. I'm not judging them. And slowly open the eyes. So we're going to begin on our backs with the straps. So set any props you have off to the side. And grab your strap and have a lie down. Just begin with the feet on the ground, knees pointing up. And get used to, just notice the back here. So it's very common for there to be a little bit of a lift in the lower back. So the lower back might not touch the ground. So the sacrum, pelvis is on the ground, shoulder blades are on the ground. And find your strap, belt, tie, whatever works for you. I'm going to take the right foot into the strap and send the right foot to the sky. Okay, so some tips here. So we want to keep the shoulders on the ground. So we don't want to lift, we don't want to force like this. Just keep the shoulders on the ground. The strap at the ball of the foot. The way to get more intensity here, so everyone has different hamstrings, so we're not going to judge it. First of all, the leg doesn't have to be vertical or past vertical. All right, so just find a place that works for you. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can come up against the wall and rest your heel against the wall. So people have hamstrings, this is the best they could do, which is fine. There's a lot of biology involved here. And then once you find that place, there's a couple of things you can do to modulate the intensity. So one is flexing the foot. So if I bring my toes toward my knees, that's going to lengthen the back of the leg. If I send my toes up, it takes a little bit of the intensity away. And the other is, of course, moving the leg. So if I bring the leg closer to my chest, there's a little more opening. To keep it even more interesting, though, you can imagine sending the breath up the leg on the inhale, down the leg on the exhale. And as you do that, applying firm support with the arms, you may find that you could bring the leg a little bit closer to the chest with a few breaths. So just take a moment here and see how this works for you. Up the leg, inhale. Down the leg, exhale. If you want a little more intensity in the groin, you can extend the left leg. If you choose to do that, the tendency is for the foot to be out to the side. Just roll it so that the toes are pointing to the sky. That's just an inward rotation of the left leg. Belly relaxed. You don't need your core if you're using your arms to hold the leg there. Soften the belly. Now transfer the strap to the right leg. I'm going to shift toward you because once I send my leg out to the right, I won't be too close to the window. So I'm going to slip over. The other thing that can be handy is if you want, some of us will be more comfortable with some support for that leg. You can grab a block here. So transferring the strap to the right hand and sending the right leg out to the right. Opening up the inner part of the leg. And the support for the leg under the thigh can be helpful. It could be anything. Wadded up sweatshirt, a block, pillow will work fine. The left leg is firmly rooted on the ground. So the shape here is the shape of Trikonasana, the triangle. We're just lying down. If we were standing, this would be Padangusthasana. Again, relax the belly. Send the breath out to the leg. relaxing the belly. I'm going to reach over with the left hand, bring that leg up. I'm going to move back onto my mat so it's easier for you to see. Move my block over to the left. Put the left foot on the ground, lift the hips up and shift them over to the right, just an inch or so. And then extend the left leg. Transfer the strap to the left hand, and we're going to stack the hips and send the right leg off to the left. Again, a block is helpful here, or a pillow. So the hips are stacked, so I have my right hip directly above the left. So what do I do with the right arm? So if it's available to you, so sometimes it can be helpful if you want to deepen this twist a bit more. Lift the torso up and then move the left shoulder more toward the left. And that will give you a little more space on the right for the right arm and the right shoulder. So for some of us, the right shoulder is on the ground. For some of us, it's not. And when we're together, sometimes I'll come in and stuff a pillow or blanket underneath of that shoulder for you. So for some of us, this is a really intense opening on the right side for the right shoulder. You can bend the elbow if you need to. Change your angle of the arm. If it's too much, you could also just set the right hand on the hip. Breathing here. And then one more option, if you're interested, you can send the, you could rotate the head off to the right for the deepest twist, the most twist in the spine, but only if it's comfortable for you. Breathing here. Relax the belly. So the left leg, the foot is still flexed, and the outside of the left foot is in contact with the ground. And we'll bring the right arm back around, grab the strap, and bring the leg up for the first side. So you might notice the spine is not quite straight with the torso, so just bring the left foot on the ground, straighten everything out. Bring the left foot up. So both legs are up. So you might hear some neighborhood noise. Somebody's always doing something in this neighborhood because we're all stuck at home. Lots of home improvements and so on. So, but it's not too loud, so just let it be. Flexing the feet here. And now is a good time to explore the difference between the right leg and the left leg. So you might notice a difference here. One might be more open, or you might not notice a difference at all, and that's okay too. And again, you can attenuate the movement of the legs, where the legs are positioned. They don't have to be completely vertical. And it's okay to bend the knees if you need to, too. Perfectly fine. And then we're going to take the right leg out and lower it to the ground. So a couple options here. You can have the right foot on the ground or the leg extended. Just enjoy this one. Same idea, right? So the leg doesn't have to be vertical, knee can be bent, foot can be flexed. And using the arms to support the leg instead of the belly. So soften the belly if you can. Transfer the strap to the left leg. Send the left leg out to the left. Maybe you have a block, pillow, wadded up towel, blanket, opening up the inside of the left leg. And then you have the right shoulder off to the right. You have options here. This tends to be a little bit easier than the twist. Breathing, sending the breath up and down the leg. Soft breath, soft belly. And reach over with the right hand, bring the left leg up. Bring the right foot on the ground. I'm going to shift the hips over to the left now. I'm going to move my prop over here. And then re-extend the right leg. Transfer the strap to the right hand. And then send the left leg over to the right. And you can support that leg with a block, pillow, blanket. And then check out the shoulders. So I deepen this twist. If I lift the torso up a bit and twist a little bit more off to the left, and that will rest the left shoulder a little bit more off the ground, a little bit more comfortable. May or may not be available to you, but it's an adjustment that many of us can make. And then support this arm if it's an issue. You can even rest the hand on the hip if that's easier for you. And then to complete the twist to its deepest form, look over to the left. If that doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Soft belly. After we've done all that, all the attention to detail tends to be a little stressful. Just let it go. And inhale the arm up. Reach over to the right side. Follow up the left leg. Now the spine's not all lined up. Go ahead and take a moment, right foot on the ground to realign. And bring the right leg up again. And check out the legs. Compare again. Soft belly. Okay, there's some options for getting out of this. We're going to try a fun one here. So I'll describe it and then we'll try it. You could probably just roll up, keeping the strap where it is, and come up to seated. I'm going to do that. But if that sounds a little scary, maybe not too much, you could just bend the knees, roll over to one side, and push yourself up. But I'm going to go ahead and give this a try if you like. And then I'm going to bend the knees a bit while I do this. I'm just going to rock a bit, and then just caboot up. Which is really not too bad. Send the strap over to the side for the moment. And make your way to hands and knees. So of course, in table pose, if you need to support the knees, you can put a blanket there. And then with the hands, usually the wrists are under the shoulders, fingertips are spread wide. If it's too much of an angle for the wrists, you can step the hands forward a bit. And keeping the fingertips or the fingers wide, tops of the feet on the ground. And then pressing the circle of the palm into the ground takes pressure off the wrists. So let's do our tried and true cat and cow. So we're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis, and stretches the front of the body, and arches the back. You can lift the chin for a full effect. And then we exhale. I'm going to start by tucking the chin, separating the shoulder blades, And sending the middle of the back to the sky, and finally the tailbone is tucked. And again, lead with the tailbone. And feel cat-cow ripple through the spine. Inhale, exhale as we round. Inhale as we arch. A couple more times. We're going to level out the spine. You want to take a little pressure off the wrists. You have a couple of options. One, you can come to child's pose. Just wring out the wrists. That's too hot or too much. You can sit on your heels. That's a different kind of intensity. Certainly possible. And then you can just shake the wrists out. All right, I'm coming back to table pose. And making sure the left wrist is under the right, or under the left shoulder. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale. Coming down onto the right shoulder. I'm just going to change sides here so you can hear me. Lots of options here, as we often explore. You can just leave the left hand on the ground, and then you can use it as leverage, right? So as I push, you can feel the deepening of the twist. The other thing it's easy to do is send the hips out to the left. If you bring the hips in line, you're going to feel more of a stretch in the upper back. Other options: left hand to the sacrum, left hand to the sky. Some of us like to extend the left leg. Lots of places to go. Some of us like to float that left leg. And then, trickiest, bend that knee, find your toes back there. Again, it's all optional. You decide what works for you. And if you fall here, you're falling nearly inches. Breathing. Whatever variation you're in, come back so that the left hand is on the ground. Use it to push your way up. And exhale back. All right, I'm just switching sides so that when we do the other side, you can hear me. And ready for the other side. Now inhale the left arm up. Exhale, coming down onto the left shoulder. And we have variations here, same ones. Just check the hips out though, so there'll be a tendency to send the hips out to the right. Then you're stretching the left side body. Side stretches are fine, but if we want to twist, bring the hips back in line with the knees. Choose variation for the hand, right hand, sacrum, sky, leg extended, leg lifted, and the ever tricky quad stretch. Breathing. Wherever your right foot, leg, hand, arm is, bring the right hand to the ground and push yourself back up. Exhale. Let's take a little child's pose here. So hips over heels. Bring your toes together, separating the knees. The belly rests between the thighs. Arms alongside the body or alongside the ears. And inhale back up. And back into table. So from here, I would suggest that you make a 90-degree turn so that you're facing the long end of your mat. Why will become clear in a moment. Finding table pose here. Let's do some hip circles first. So bring the hands out and just make circles with the hips. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. Reverse direction, inhale, forward, exhale, back. And bring your circles back to stillness. Hands underneath these shoulders. Okay, so we're going to try something a little bit different. So lift the feet off the ground, keep the knees where they are, and send the feet out to the sides. I'm just going to lift my knees a little bit. And then I'm going to lift the knees up off the ground, hips off the ground, and I'm going to be pretty close to wide angle downward dog. So lifting the knees up, straightening the legs. You can make any adjustments if you didn't find yourself where you thought you might be for wide angle downward facing dog. So in wide angle downward facing dog, typically the heels are on the ground, which is not true in regular down dog. A lot of the other aspects of down dog apply though. So pushing the ground away with the hands, grounding through the circle of the palm, taking pressure off the wrists, and dropping the head between the arms, bending the hips back. The secret here is to be okay with bending the knees. If you bend the knees just a bit, you can really lengthen out the torso here. You feel the opening in the back of the legs. We've been working on them already. Should be helpful. And then from here, we're going to slowly walk the hands back to the legs. Now we are in Prasarita Padottanasana. I'm just going to step back on my mat a bit. And feel how that changes the experience in the inner legs. Feel the sacrum broaden. Let the head hang. And place the hands on the waist. Inhale the arms up, or inhale the torso up. Exhale. Well done. We are standing. Okay, so from here, I'm going to push the right foot away so we can join the left. Come to standing. And find your strap again. Because what's good for the lower half of the body is also good for the upper half of the body in many circumstances. So take the strap in the middle into both hands. Just step back a bit. See how I do. Actually, an overhand grip here. So the strap is loose between the arms. We're into Tadasana, so find mountain. Toes are pointing forward. Feet are about hip distance apart. That's about a fist and a half for most of us. So find that extension. And we're going to inhale the arms up, and we can move them along the straps to find that right width that gives us an opening without it being too much. Now, once you're here, you have a couple of options. If it's available to you to come down the back body, again, if you have to lengthen the space between the arms, go ahead and do that. If you bend the elbows, then you're compensating. You probably need a wider stance. If that all sounds like way too much, you could just exhale down the front, perfectly fine. And exhale down the back. Hope I don't hit the shades back there. Oh, we're good. Inhale up the back. Exhale down the front. That's the movement. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And you might notice with each movement it gets a little bit easier. You can always take up a little bit of slack between the arms. One more time. Exhale down the front. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, while we're here, I'll take the strap in the middle. I'm actually going to double my strap so it doesn't flop around quite so much. Whatever strap you have, however that works. Place it in the hand, palm up, lift the right arm up. Exhale, bend the right elbow so the strap is now behind you. Take the left arm around, find that strap behind you. Some of us don't need a strap. You can not interlace the fingers, but find the fingers. Breathing in cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Let's do a stretch in the tricep on the right side, and then we're opening the shoulder on the left side. So really great opening in the upper body. And slowly release that. Transfer the strap to the left hand. Inhale the left arm up. Bend the left elbow. Send the right arm around. Cow face pose, side two. You might notice a difference. One shoulder is bound to be a little bit more open than the other. So now stretching the left triceps, opening the right shoulder. And slowly release. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, one more with this, a couple more with the strap. I'm not done yet. All right, so take the strap behind you. So for Yoga Mudra, some of us don't need this. You can interlace the fingers if that works for you. I'm gonna go ahead and use the strap just to demonstrate. So my palms are facing up here, or my fingers are interlaced. Opening the shoulders. Finding Tadasana. And then send the arms down. So as I do that, as I send the arms down and straighten them, there's an opening in the shoulders here. Right now my chin is level to the ground. I'm going to inhale. And then as I exhale, I'm going to just soften the knees a bit. We've been working on the hamstrings, but nevertheless, I'm going to hinge at the hip and lead with the chest. Folding forward into a standing forward bend. Kind of breaking this down a bit. Often I'll lift my arms at the same time, but now that I'm in my forward bend, I'm going to go ahead and lift, see if I can lift the arms up off the back. Some of us can do it, some of us can't. Into standing yoga mudra, symbol of yoga. Soft knees, check out the head. Are you holding it? Is it hanging? Broaden the lower back. And then slowly I'm going to push the ground away, lower the arms back onto the back, inhale back up. Release the strap into one hand. Nice. So let's do one more. Open the strap back up. And inhale the arms up, nice and wide. Exhale, breath here. Inhale up, exhale, hips off to the left, lean to the right. Let's just stay here and breathe. Often we go side to side. Let's try something a little bit different. Breathing here in a modified Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, standing half side stretch. Both feet are grounded into the earth. That gives you more of an opening from the hip all the way to the fingertips on the left side. Inhale up to center. Exhale off to the left. Now hips out to the right. Opening the right side body, nice. Inhale up. Exhale, lower the arms, set the strap off to the side. All right. For this next one, we're going to do a little bit of variation with chairs. I've been practicing with some online yoga teachers and giving them some ideas, and then, creative juices start flowing, which, as my regulars know, can be either good news or bad news. All right, so let's try some of this. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, sit down in the chair, so squatting. And then let's send the arms all just straight out from the shoulders. Turn the palms to face each other. As we inhale, we're going to draw the elbows toward the body and straighten the legs. Exhale back. You can take this faster if you'd like. One more time. Inhale the arms up. Arms down to the sides. Take a moment to notice. Take a chin to the chest. Roll right ear to right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Exhale to chest. A couple more times each side. Inhale the chin back, level to the ground. All right, let's try another variation. Come down, inhale the arms up, come down into a squat. And then bring the elbows together, palms facing each other. Interesting, right? Okay, so for chair pose, you want more intensity, lower the hips. Less intensity, raise. So this is our exhale here. We're going to inhale, straighten the legs, come into cactus arms. Exhale. Inhale. Nice back bend, you're opening the chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more times. And then open the arms. Take them by the sides. Take a moment. It's working the quads there, shoulders. All right, inhale the arms out, make a cactus. I'm just going to do our twist this way. So the twist is in a different place than when we do standing swinging twist. It's a little bit higher. So we're going to inhale left, exhale right. Fingertips spread wide. And we should come to stillness. Then let's just kind of swivel a bit. So there's a couple of ways to do this. One is to just swivel the torso. Just try that. So keeping the hips in place. Just explore where the sensation would be. Some of this feels really nice. If you want to involve the hips, then you can do that and notice what that does. So for me, I'm compensating for stretches I could get in the torso when I freeze the torso out. You want to try another variation with the arms. Temple, fingertips pointing up, index finger, which you can't see on the screen here. So I have noticed that if a yoga teacher is short, the camera doesn't have to be as far away. And it's easier to get he or she in the frame. But when you're tall, the computer has to be a long ways away before my head gets cut off. Nice. Maybe move the hips a bit. And then lower the arms. So I haven't taught a balance pose. I can't remember how long. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So find a place where you want to do your balance work. So that could be next to a wall or a chair or the couch. And then also surfaces can matter, right? So if you're on your mat on a carpet, which I am, that can be pretty challenging. You can move to a hardwood floor if you're not already on one, if that would be easier and more supportive for you, then just take that time to do that. So we're going to do an easy one, relatively speaking. Balikikasana. Shifting the weight into the right leg, taking the weight off the left leg. And then I never lock my supporting foot, my supporting knee. Just a little bit of flexibility in that knee gives me a way to check my balance. I'm going to lift the left leg up, and the left foot is dangling. So the thigh is parallel to the ground. Then I'm going to lift my lower arms, but have the wrists be soft. Balikikasana, the crane. Find something to focus on that's not moving. Breathing. And be okay with the wobbling, which is normal. Come out when you need to. And relax the arms, the leg back down. Nice. Take a moment, don't move yet. Great. Balancing on the right foot before we balance on the left foot. Sending the weight, shifting the weight into the left foot now. Taking weight off the right, thigh parallel to the ground. Elbows down, wrists up, arms, hands relaxed. Balikikasana. Chest is open a bit here. And slowly release. Nice. Separate the feet a little wider than hip width. Just some relaxing standing swimming twists. And slowly come to stillness. And it's time to come down to the mat with the back on the ground, knees brought together. Just take a moment, I'll meet you there. So give the back a chance to relax into the ground. So let's move a little bit more with the hips here while we have a chance. So, right ankle to left knee, hands on either side of the left thigh, draw both knees toward the chest, grab the shin or behind the knee. Helpful to flex the right foot so to protect the knee. Another thing you can do if you have the grip that I have, which is on the thigh, is maybe the right elbow will press into the right knee, and that you can push it away a little bit. So that's a nice advantage. They like to deepen this. Figure 4 pose. Relax the belly. And then take the knees back away from the chest. I'm going to go for something a little bit deeper. You don't do it often. If it doesn't work for you, then don't worry about it. Stack the knees. So I'm going to send the right leg over more to the left. So my knees are stacked. Feet are out. Grab your feet with opposing hands. So this stretches the outer hip, and it can be a little intense. So if it's too much for you, you can just do supine child's pose. And then we send the feet out. This is also shoelace in the yin yoga if you're sitting. Goddess feet. Soft belly. And slowly unwind that. Both feet on the ground. Well done. Left ankle to right knee. Side 2. Draw both knees towards you. And then if you'll grab the shin or behind the knee, maybe if the proportions of legs and arms work, you can have the left elbow pressing against the left knee. Might not work for you, but if it does, and you like a little more open, it can be really helpful. Flex the left foot. Breathing, figure 4. Then take the arms away. Stack the knees. So left leg is on, left knee is, when I say on top, I mean closer to the chest. A little bit difficult sometimes when we're supine. And then find the feet with your arms, with your hands, if that works for you. And then sending the feet out, stretching down the outer hips. Again, if this is too much, supine child's pose would be a good option for you. This is much more intense if we're sitting, which can be done too, but just a little bit more active. We're going to unwind. I'm actually going to, I'm going to see how this works. Keep a hold of my toes. Untangle, swap, happy baby. Ah. Your happy baby rocks a little bit. Another fun one is like you're driving the bus. Rotating the hips a bit. Or we can extend one leg A little bit, straighten it. Straight is relative here. Maybe leg out, leg in. And then bring the knees together. Arms out in a T. So we'll finish with a supine twist. Arms out in a T. And inhale here. Exhale, drop the knees off to the right. Some tips here. So we just started out with a twist earlier as well. Shoulder here is floating up, supporting it with a towel or blanket. A pillow is helpful. Deeper twist would have the knees closer to the chest. Less intense twist will have the knees a little bit further away from the chest. If you prefer to move dynamically from side to side, I often offer that in person. You can do that. We're just going to stay here though, unless moving. Bring you out to the other side in a few breaths. Soften the belly, soften the jaw. And then to come up, I would separate the knees. That's the gentler way. If you want to keep the knees together, but give you a little bit of core work. Inhale the leg up. Other leg just comes with it. Exhale, knees off to the left. Same idea. Check out the shoulder on the right. Does it need support? Would it be easier to put your hand on the hip? Let the elbow rest on the ground. Perfectly fine. And then taking the gaze off to the right would deepen the twist. I'm not going to do that because it's harder for you to hear me. If I do that, breathing here. And inhale both knees up. Few knee circles, making our way into Shavasana, the final relaxation. Finding those things which make you comfortable. Maybe a blanket underneath the knees is nice. Cover up if you're someplace where you might cool down as you relax. You can just prop the knees together if having the legs extended is difficult for the lower back. Yes. Turning the palms out. Shoulders are under the back. Sometimes I'll lift my chest and move the shoulders underneath, palms turned up. Just relaxing here in Shavasana. We very slowly begin to deepen the breath, using the breath to bring movement back into the body. Starting out with small movements, wrists, fingers, toes, ankles. Be rolling the head from side to side, yawn, stretch. All those are great places to start. And as you're ready, drawing the knees into the chest, rolling a little bit from side to side. And as you're ready, rolling over to the right side for just a couple breaths. And placing the left hand on the ground, push yourself up to a seat. Taking a moment to soak in our practice together, the effects. Remembering that place we touch into when we practice, whether it's together or alone. It's always there. It's the calm underneath the waves of the ocean. Inhale the arms out and up. Palms together. Exhale to the heart center on June. Thank you all for joining me today. Be safe, be well. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings live happy and free. Namaste.